Imagine holding a simple glass of soda in your hand. It looks harmless, sweet, refreshing, fizzy, and familiar. Millions of people drink soda every single day. For many, it is a normal part of lunch, dinner, social gatherings, or simply a quick way to satisfy a craving. But beneath that sparkling surface lies a fascinating biological story. As the glass approaches your lips, an extraordinary chain of events is about to begin inside your body. Every organ, every cell, and every biological system will respond in some way to the ingredients contained within this drink. The moment the first sip enters your mouth, the journey begins. Even before the soda reaches your stomach, your body is already reacting. Taste receptors on your tongue instantly detect the intense sweetness. These receptors send electrical signals through the nervous system to the brain. Within moments, regions associated with reward, pleasure, and anticipation become active. The brain recognizes the arrival of a highly concentrated source of sugar. This response is ancient. Throughout human evolution, sweet foods were often valuable sources of energy. As a result, the brain developed powerful mechanisms that encourage the consumption of sweet substances. The sweetness creates an immediate sensory reward. At the same time, the carbonation produces a unique tingling sensation. Tiny carbon dioxide bubbles stimulate receptors throughout the mouth and throat, creating the familiar fizzy feeling that many people enjoy. As you swallow, the soda begins traveling down the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube connecting the mouth to the stomach. Rhythmic contractions known as peristalsis gently push the liquid downward. Within seconds, the soda reaches the stomach. Inside the stomach, the liquid mixes with gastric acids and digestive fluids. Carbon dioxide bubbles continue to expand and move through the stomach contents. This is why some people experience bloating or belching shortly after drinking carbonated beverages. The stomach is designed to handle a wide variety of foods and liquids, but soda introduces an unusually high concentration of dissolved sugars in a relatively short amount of time. The stomach begins preparing the contents for the next stage of digestion. As the liquid leaves the stomach and enters the small intestine, absorption begins. The small intestine is one of the most remarkable organs in the human body. Its inner surface is covered with millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. These structures dramatically increase the surface area available for nutrient absorption. As the soda passes through this environment, glucose molecules and other dissolved compounds begin crossing the intestinal wall. Tiny capillaries located within the villi rapidly transport these substances into the bloodstream. What happens next occurs with astonishing speed. The circulatory system immediately begins distributing the absorbed glucose throughout the body. The heart pumps blood continuously, delivering nutrients to every organ and tissue. Within minutes, glucose molecules are traveling through arteries, capillaries, and veins, reaching cells from head to toe. For the body, glucose is a valuable fuel source. Every cell requires energy to perform its functions. Muscles need energy to contract. The brain needs energy to process information. Organs require energy to maintain countless biological processes every second. As glucose becomes available, cells begin using it to produce adenosine triphosphate, commonly known as ATP. ATP serves as the body's primary energy currency. For a brief period, the sudden influx of glucose can create a sensation of increased energy and alertness. The brain is particularly sensitive to changes in glucose availability. Although the brain represents only a small percentage of total body weight, it consumes a substantial amount of the body's energy supply. As glucose levels rise, neurons gain rapid access to fuel. Electrical activity throughout neural networks increases. Signals travel across billions of interconnected neurons. Synapses become active. Neurotransmitters are released. Communication pathways throughout the brain operate at remarkable speed. This is one reason many people report feeling temporarily more alert after consuming sugary beverages. The nervous system responds rapidly to the increased availability of energy. Muscles also gain access to this fuel. Throughout the body, muscle cells absorb glucose from the bloodstream. Some of this glucose is immediately used for energy production. Some may be stored for later use. The body's energy-producing machinery becomes more active as glucose enters cells and participates in cellular respiration. For a short period, this process may support physical activity and contribute to feelings of increased vitality. Meanwhile, digestion continues. The gastrointestinal system remains hard at work processing the contents of the beverage. Fluids move through the digestive tract. Water is absorbed. Remaining compounds continue their journey through the intestines. The body constantly monitors and regulates these processes to maintain internal balance. However, the story does not end with energy. The body must now manage the consequences of a rapid rise in blood sugar. As glucose concentrations increase, specialized cells within the pancreas detect the change. In response, the pancreas releases insulin. Insulin is one of the most important hormones in the human body. Its primary role is to help cells absorb glucose from the bloodstream. Think of insulin as a key. It unlocks cellular pathways that allow glucose to enter cells where it can be used or stored. As insulin levels rise, glucose begins moving out of the bloodstream and into tissues throughout the body. Under normal circumstances, this process helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels. But when large amounts of sugar enter the bloodstream rapidly, the body's regulatory systems must work much harder. The pancreas may release significant amounts of insulin to control the sudden surge. This rapid response can sometimes contribute to a later decline in blood sugar levels. As glucose is removed from circulation, some individuals experience what is commonly called a sugar crash. The initial burst of energy begins to fade. Alertness may decrease, fatigue can develop, concentration may become more difficult. Energy levels that were briefly elevated may suddenly drop. The body is attempting to restore equilibrium. Inside the stomach, frequent exposure to sugary and acidic beverages can create additional challenges. The acidic nature of many sodas may irritate sensitive stomach tissues in certain individuals. Repeated exposure over time may contribute to digestive discomfort. Some people experience bloating, acid reflux, or stomach irritation after consuming carbonated beverages. These effects vary considerably from person to person. The digestive system is highly adaptable, but repeated exposure to large quantities of acidic and sugary drinks can place stress on normal digestive processes. The bloodstream continues carrying glucose throughout the body. When sugar intake exceeds immediate energy needs, excess glucose may be converted and stored. The liver plays a major role in this process. As one of the body's most important metabolic organs, the liver helps regulate energy balance. It processes nutrients, stores glycogen, and participates in countless biochemical reactions. When excessive amounts of sugar are consumed regularly, the liver may be forced to process far more than it was designed to handle. Over long periods, this can contribute to metabolic stress. The pancreas may also face increased demands. Repeated spikes in blood sugar require repeated releases of insulin. Year after year, this increased workload can challenge the body's ability to regulate glucose effectively. Deep within the intestines, another important system is affected. Trillions of microorganisms inhabit the digestive tract. Together, these bacteria, fungi, and microbes form what scientists call the gut microbiome. This microscopic ecosystem influences digestion, immunity, metabolism, and even aspects of brain function. Diet strongly influences the balance of these microbial populations. Frequent consumption of high-sugar beverages may encourage changes in the composition of gut bacteria. Some beneficial species may decline while other populations become more dominant. Researchers continue studying the complex relationship between sugar intake and microbial health. The mouth experiences its own consequences. Each sip of soda exposes teeth to sugars and acids. Bacteria naturally present in the mouth feed on these sugars. As they do, acids are produced. These acids can gradually weaken tooth enamel, the protective outer layer of the teeth. Over time, repeated exposure increases the risk of cavities and dental erosion. Microscopic changes may occur long before visible damage becomes apparent. Yet, despite these challenges, the body's resilience is extraordinary. Every second, countless systems work together to maintain stability. Hormones regulate metabolism. The circulatory system transports nutrients. The digestive system processes incoming substances. The nervous system coordinates responses. Organs communicate continuously through intricate biochemical networks. A single glass of soda initiates a remarkable cascade of biological events. From the first taste on the tongue to the final cellular response, every stage reveals the incredible complexity of the human body. What appears to be a simple beverage is actually the beginning of a sophisticated physiological journey involving the brain, stomach, intestines, pancreas, liver, bloodstream, muscles, microbiome, and billions upon billions of individual cells. Understanding these processes helps us appreciate both the power of nutrition and the remarkable machinery operating within us every moment of our lives.